Welcome back to day 4 of the event window here for the Hurley Pro Trestles. We have the third round unfolding with Kelly Slater trying to continue his magic run, a win at the last stop in Tahiti. Looking very sharp so far as he's ploughed through the rounds here. He's got a tough draw in Jack Freestone. We're going to see two very different approaches on offer here in this lineup. Kelly will probably look to keep those rails wet. Jack Freestone, one of the best surfers on tour above the lip. Let's see if he goes to the air. Ronnie Blakey with Ross Williams. But they're juniors, and it's time to step things up at the elite level. So let's see how he goes against Kelly Slater here. It is Jack, as you can see there. Maybe trying to play some mind games with Kelly. He has shaven off the peroxided bangs, which he's been rocking for the last couple of events. Taking things to the bone. He's getting serious halfway through the year. So we're getting pretty close to the 20-minute mark here, and that means that 10 minutes has gone by without a decent rideable wave for our competitors. So a good chance that we will see a heat restart here.
I don't know. They did pass up that one wave. You know, Jack could have stood up on that wave, and he didn't want to give Kelly priority, so
we'll see. Well, there's something approaching here. Kelly Slater's making a bit of a move, and this is...
See, that's okay.
Well, there's 5 seconds to go now.
Well, they gave it. That was a little bit generous, I think. There was a couple of waves there. I know they weren't great, but I think Kelly could have won in that wave, and it was a good timing. It was a timing thing. He said within 5 seconds they're going to give us a fresh 10 minutes. So,
did you have restarts back in the day when you were on the championship tour?
No.
No restarts.
No restarts, and at least the first like 3/4 of my career, there was no restarts. And you know, we had an event at G-Land, and G-Land was notorious for going flat for 30 minutes at a time. It was a very tidal wave, and I saw Jeff Booth sit for the entire 30 minutes and paddle in, and didn't catch a wave, and he lost because I think it was Rizal Tanjung, who was a wild card. He got one great score, and that was it. That was the only wave that came through. A
fresh clock for our competitors here in Heat 3 of Round 3. No waves ridden in the first 10 minutes, so we're going to get another opportunity to see these guys tap into some good waves.
That we love seeing from Kelly is his board choice has been amazing. He's been sticking to that board throughout Tahiti, and here he goes right now, Ronnie. So why don't you guys take it away?
Well, Kelly just takes a bit of a high line to drive up into this first section. Flowing down the line, and he goes to the air and almost successful. He's back. He actually has pulled this move off.
Oh, wow.
I thought he'd lost control there, but nobody plays the cat better than Kelly Slater, somehow landing on his feet there. But he's just so good, Ross, at bouncing around to that foam and just waiting for the right moment to engage that core and pull himself back up on top of his equipment.
He's arguably the most tenacious when it comes to not giving up. And, you know, a lot of surfers, once they kind of don't absolutely grease a landing of an air, they're like, all right, it doesn't look cool, I'm out. But for Kelly, he has no shame. You know, he'll definitely fish that board back under his feet. So in that whitewash, he definitely did a Houdini. Right there, he's going to blast that tail towards the beach, get almost a full rotation. And there's that effort I was talking about. In the whitewash, he was basically using his pinky toe to get that board back underneath him. Let's see if we can really watch it from this side angle right here. Again, watch the tail towards the beach. So pretty good technique from the old fella. It was such a new school move. And in the whitewash right there, you know, obviously he can't see. You know, he's engulfed by the whitewash, so he's using all his feel with his feet to try and get that board back underneath him, to get that center of gravity so that he could regain control and plane out in front of the whitewash. Let's really see what happens here as he disappears. Right now, he's like, okay, I can't see anything, but I know the board's right there. Right about now, he'd be trying to fish it underneath him to get his knees under his chest. You know, once you're extended, you're toast. So right there, you can see he got over the center of his board.
Back to live action now. This is Jack Freestone looking for a response. He kicks the tail, but can't maintain control.
Had a choice, he would absolutely grease the landing, meaning land it perfectly. But, you know, Kelly's one of the older guys on tour that is manufacturing errors. He knows how to get it done.
Well, he's just put a really big number on the board for that move, a 7. So he'll be energized, and here he is once again. This time has a bit of room to move out in front of the wave and goes to the air once again, and there is that greased landing. So where are they going to go with that? One turn, scored a 7. I think the other air was maybe better. But we'll get another look at that in a moment as we see Jack Freestone just trying to stay on pace with Slater. Kicks that tail. Cute little turn there, but definitely didn't have that rotation or height that Slater performed on his last move.
I'm going to get the crowd on my side. I might excite the judges. So I don't think it's a mistake that Kelly went down the line on that first wave and boosted. But, you know, it is a little dangerous to wake up this kid with errors, because he might be thinking, you want to go there. Okay. And I know that's just a small error for Jack, but, you know, look out. If he finds himself a proper ramp, he can go very big. And we talked about clean landings for errors. This one much better. Getting down the line, so Kelly using that projection. There's the rail that we've been anticipating, Ronnie. We know he's one of the most powerful surfers on tour. Spots a little ramp right there, and again, that was clean. You can see he didn't spend any time recovering, and the judges will take that into consideration, Ronnie.
Definitely. We're having a look at it from that water angle now. Let's just check how much height Kelly got on that last maneuver. I think it was the spin that kind of made this turn impressive. So didn't really get that high above the lip. Was one of those airs, Ross, where he projected more so out onto the flats.
Watch his tail block. He's going to get that spin that's so common these days, but watch how keep an eye on his rails. You can see that, how he spun out of it and no edge was caught. No water went splashing off his rails. That's what you call a clean landing.
All the way and greased it like Ross had said. It probably would have gone upwards 8, 5s, and 9s, gone into the exit range. So 7 for the recovery. But he literally made me eat my words as I was speaking, talking about what he was surfing, keeping to the base, and then all of a sudden he does that. And I think that's why he's the greatest of all time, is that he can surprise us all no matter what. We think we know what he's doing, and then he'll just throw something out there that changes everything. And, you know, Kelly, again, at 44, being able to do what he does is truly amazing. He came out of this one thinking he was going to go to the air, and sure enough, he did. And impressive.
You know, Pete, I was just watching a replay in slow motion right here, and I feel like there's different versions of recovering. And then when he popped out, he was completely over the deck of his board. It looked a little better.
Well, and I think that's the reason why we saw the score come in at a 7, you know, where it was that sloppy one. I mean, we could talk about this forever, but remember last year, I believe, where he did the flip and brought the board back under his feet and it became a 4, you know, so that's the difference. I think you're right, is that when you have that recovery, but you put everything into perspective, he put it underneath his body, and so he was making it so it wasn't a mistake.
We're all set. I got a private plane. We're going to go there as soon as you like.
Kelly's plane. Here goes Slater now. Let's see if his back is okay. Well, it looks like it's completely fine. That first turn was huge, and he's backed it up with another solid hit, bringing it through to the inside. The combination of 3 major turns. This might be his best wave, despite the fact that he took to the air on the right-hander. I just loved how much oomph was in each of those moves, because not too many people have enjoyed that long right-hander. But Kelly, a rare left for him.
Yeah, so that's the aggression right there. Sliding a tail, crisp snap on that second one. And I love that choice of moves for Kelly on that third snap. You know, he didn't get too carried up and going for an air. But, you know, he is Connor Coffin's coach, and they really, I think he loves to get technical and look at placement, where to surf, and how to place maneuvers.
Well, the same thing could probably be said about Dino as well. But here we go. This is Jack Freestone, and he's been stumbling. We knew it was going to be a big heat for him, Ross. Anytime a competitor gets the opportunity to surf against Kelly in their rookie year, more often than not, they're a little bit frazzled. There's some noise going on between the ears, because it's such a rare opportunity. In the locker room, Brad Gerlach is talking to Connor. It's all in the hips, just like Chubbs. But here we go, Jack Freestone. Swinging that tail around, but a lot of recovery time on this ride. Let's see what he can do out here on the open face. He's going to need something huge to turn this into an excellent score. Not a bad little finner on the closeout, but it's just looking nothing like the 8-point rides that Kelly's hanging on to.
Yeah, this is that's not the way you're going to crawl back into this heat. 7 minutes to go. It's going to be another low score. You know, it's just not that routine that you want at lowers. You want, you know, a seamless bottom turn into a series of, you know, defined maneuvers. It looked like Jack Freestone on this wave, just a little lost. Nice snap right there, big old tail waft. but you can see right here is where he spent some time getting back out to the open face. So, you know, I think that, you know, obviously he had to take some time to get back under his feet after that big tail waft, and he hammered it home. That's his highest score right there, running at the 8.2.
Jack Freestone up once again now with just 5 minutes remaining. And this is where the pressure starts to intensify. Jack would have been feeling very comfortable coming to this location, but definitely would have known that he'd have to put together a really good heat against Kelly to get a win.
Yeah, he for sure. I mean, you know, and again, we talked about it at the top of this heat. And Jack Freestone is a big talent. This kid's going to be around for a long time. You know, he's got himself a couple of big results on a QS, so he's got a good little start there. I'm sure he'll row qualify.
Well, here he goes on the back end now. Looks like he's starting to accelerate a little bit more, maybe just getting a little bit hungry for the result in the dying stages. But what's going to happen with the next line of swell? He knows a little bit of water is going to be drawn off the reef. And he positions himself very deep for this wave. Even though there's some foam on the face, it's not a problem. As he drives out onto the green wall now. Nice arc to get started. The wave shuts down. He's going to kick on out, looking super relaxed. And, well, he would be, because he's comboed his rival. Jack needs a two-wave total of 16.28, and it's probably not going to happen in 2.5 minutes.
As you said, picking the right waves, and he does that every single surf spot. It's not just about how hard you rip the waves. You have to get the right wave to produce those scores. And I think this wave was a keeper, but it was a bit fast. Right here, he cuts back. And that was his mistake. He got stuck behind. You know, he would have had to have gone for a floater rather than a cutback to make it out back to the open face. But it doesn't matter. He's a job well done at this point.
And now he's just going to have a bit of fun on the inside here. Just looks to pick off a little runner. He's going to go down, but somehow, again, he just body surfs back into that wave after falling off. And Slater's very comfortable with his position. When you look at his scores, he's making his way in. He's going to get rested up for the fourth round, and that first heat of round 4 taking shape pretty nicely as we see Jack Freestone just looking to put on a bit of a show here now, because he's going down in this heat, and he falls down. But heat 1 of round 4, Geordie Smith, Michelle Perez and Kelly Slater. That's who'll be fighting it out for a place in the quarterfinals when we get the fourth round underway. 15 seconds to go. Jack Freestone's going to be bundled out of the contest here, but Kelly Slater's good run continues. And one of the heats of the round coming up next, Kaloe Andino is taking on Connor Coffin. Stay with us.